Thank you, James. Yeah, I'm not totally convinced that this is a what went wrong, or maybe the first one was a what went wrong, and they're deciding to run with it. Also, I have some viewpoints that people may disagree with about if they are doing this on purpose leading up to WrestleMania against Gunther. I really do believe it's not the right way to go, and it's going to hurt one or both talents, meaning Jey Uso and or Gunther, depending upon the finish at WrestleMania. But we're going to take a look right here. By the way, I don't remember this. I know they spoke about it in a backstage promo with Jey, or he kind of made a joke about it, but this kind of like is a good thing about wrestling. I didn't remember this. It must not have been that bad where I was like, oh, I mean, he doesn't have a board with nails in his back, so I guess he's already got that going on for him. All right, let's play it. I'm such a fan of Jey Uso, by the way, and so happy to see him getting opportunity. Oh, I do remember that now. Yeah. He laughed it off. That's what I love about Jey, by the way. That's what I love about him and why I believe he's one of the most over baby faces in wrestling. He's not so like rigid and it's got to be right. He goes with the flow. His promos, I remember when he was with Roman Reigns and they finally started letting him talk, I think when Jimmy was out. I was like, this guy's a star. He really is. I don't know how long it's going to take, how they're going to present him, but he is a star. And what Jey does, he makes that face tells you the story right there. He makes it fun. Even when he does something like that, it's not a joke. It's not him like laughing in a way that people can't relate to, but he kind of knows it's messed up. He rolled back in. We'll play it again. The yeets right there. I did this on ROH. He even did a better job than I did. But when he gets up, we didn't get the whole clip, but he's laughing. I remember that. He got there like kind of, oh, what are you going to do? And that like Rob Van Dam would do, whatever. So it's a very cool way to acknowledge that something did go wrong, but I made up for it. And that's the key to wrestling. They kind of knew he made a mistake. He admitted to the mistake. They're not going to say you effed up or anything, but I bet they kind of laughed with him and they were more excited about him and what he was going to do next.
Do you think he slipped, or do you just think he just didn't get the bounce from his legs?
He didn't get the clearance, that's for sure. As we're looking right here, there it is. Now, what I would say is, because usually, dude, we do it a million times. You look at it right here, it's usually just the front flip over that you need to clear. But he knew right away, I think his face. He's like, I'm not going to make it. And then he just kind of did that. Now, thank God he was able to flip and he didn't go straight down, but I'm sure Waller and Theory would have caught him. But I'm going to look right here. He's just got a little bit of a, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like, yeah. And then he's rolling into the ring, James, to look at the hard camera and be like, nah, yeah, it happens to everybody, I guess. But yeah, I'm just such a fan. And this is the thing that makes somebody go from even just a star to a superstar, that you're so comfortable in your own skin and your character and you just kind of flow with it. Even when there's a mistake, how many times do we see, and I hate to pick on them, how many times do we see the girls make a mistake, go right back to it, and like verbatim, the spot is done A, B, C, D, E again. And sometimes they mess it up the second time. So what do? A, B, C, D, E again. And not just kind of laugh it off, shrug at the camera and say, Randy Orton does that great too. Remember when one of Jinder's guys, that's when he started doing the belly back onto the announce table. But the first time was a complete what went wrong because he didn't expect the kid to bounce off. And Randy goes, ooh, like walks and made it like, that's a magical moment in wrestling that everybody, and then it turns into actually a repeated spot that Randy does that people right up there with the DDT off the second rope and the RKO and the punt, they want to see somebody, once somebody swings for a clothesline by that table, oh no, here we go. And Randy's going to drop you, you know? So it's when you can turn a negative into a positive, and that's what Jey does really better than anybody else with his natural charisma, natural poise, and natural presence. And you might be like, man, you're a Jey Uso fanboy. You're damn right I am. Skinny guys unite.
Do you want to compare this? I'm sorry. Do you want to compare this to Top Dollar?
You called him something different.
Well, everyone calls him Flop Dollar after this. To the point that he actually claimed, I think he's called AJ Francis, that he claimed that he told the commentators to start calling him Flop Dollar, which I wouldn't have told the commentators that. I would have said, can you just ignore it?
I don't know. That to me sounds like a theory. No, I don't know about that. But I will say this, him as AJ Francis in TNA, I saw some of the work he did with Joe Hendry when they had an angle together. He did really, really good work. And I think they're going to bring, he's already been back twice. They may bring him back a third time because I think they didn't do what they could have done with Hit Row. I know what they were trying to do, but man, it was just such a weird dynamic. But I feel like he had something. When he's a big dude, he originally was the host of that treasure show where they went into the storage lockers and the self-storage and found all the old outfits and stuff. Remember he hosted that?
No,
Lost
I don't.
Treasures or WWE Lost Treasures or something.
I never watched that.
He was the host.
If we got it here, it's very hard. It's fine.
I believe he was the host of that, and then he became a wrestler. So let's take I think what we're seeing right here, it's like kind of like when Dreamer does the ECW and sometimes misses the corner with the drop kick. This is like where you pump it up so much and then, let's see. Yeah.
We can't hear Michael Cole's commentary, but it's excellent.
I meant to do that.
They even acknowledge it on commentary afterwards, where whoever said, Top Dollar doesn't usually do these kinds of high risk thingies, and then he flops over it. And after there's a reason why he doesn't do those high risk moves.
Here he goes. Whoa! That's the crowd, right?
You see, he sort of got caught under the bottom rope there. I'm wondering if there's like some sort of potential issue. Do you know what I mean? If you like snap your head back or something.
My thing would be if anybody can Photoshop in or do graphics of an inversion table, like he's flying into an inversion table or something. But dude, no joke though. Look at his head. He could very easily have caught his head and did the thing back. You know what I mean? He could have broke his neck. He did basically, seriously, the run. You try to dive over and clear it, but even that little bit, like Jey, he didn't clear it. It was essentially the same kind of what went wrong for him and Top Dollar. But at the same time, like when you clear over that, dude, you feel like you're so much higher. And it's really, you're only clearing it by maybe 6 to 8 inches, something like that. It's definitely a lot difficult, but he could have really broke his neck. Oh no. Oh no. This guy here in the LWO, you know what part he played? He played the part of Dr. Stevie from the TNA Final Resolution watch along on Patreon, where Mick Foley hit Raven with the shopping cart, but I went flying back. He didn't touch him, but watch. Oh my God, I got to sell. He didn't even hit this guy right here. Watch. Close up. He didn't hit anybody, and they all. He didn't hit.
No, he hit somebody. He hit the bald guy there.
He hit Ray Rowe or Eric Rowe.
Yeah.
Or Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. One or the other. But look, even Ivar sold. He's like, look at all the space right there. Oh, that's great. Brother, I didn't feel a thing.
Safest worker in the world.
Oh my God. I love it. I love pro wrestling. Oh, it's great. It's fun.
It's the joy, isn't it? I mean, I think to a non-wrestling... what's the old saying? It's like to a wrestling fan, no explanation needed. To a non-wrestling fan, no explanation will ever be sufficient.
All right.
That should bring wrestling and non-wrestling fans together, that clip.